Hi, I'm Scott Margolin, your host for Arc Week. Welcome to today's episode, Arc Bites, Inside an Arc Rating. Now, to dive with sharks safely, it's very important to know in advance the different sizes, species, and conditions that are possible so that you can take the right safety precautions and have the appropriate PPE, much like Arc Flash. Diving with a single 6-foot silky shark in the open ocean is a very different risk profile versus a feeding dive with several dozen 6 to 8 foot Caribbean reef sharks. The higher risk feeding dive calls for more PPE. Just like the number, species, and size of the sharks drives us to increase safety in PPE, the size of a potential arc does the same thing to Arc Flash PPE. The level of protection of an arc-rated garment is measured by something called arc rating, which tells us how much energy that fabric or garment can block without injury to the wearer. So if you're wearing an 8-calorie Cat 2 shirt into an arc where the incident energy potential is 5 calories, let's say, well then you're good to go because 8 is higher than 5. But if the next piece of gear that you're going to work on is labeled at 12 calories, you're not, you need to layer up.
Disclaimer. Special effects magic used. Your host was not actually in an arc flash.
Let's look at how we measure arc ratings and how to read an arc report. There are 2 ways to achieve an arc rating. You can either get an ATPV, or arc thermal performance value, or an EBT, energy to break open threshold. In both cases, you're protected from second-degree burn at or below the arc rating of that fabric. If you look at an arc rating report, you'll see red dots on the bottom horizontal axis. If they're on the bottom axis, you had neither a burn through the fabric nor a hole in the fabric. If those red dots appear on the upper horizontal axis, you had either a burn through the fabric or a hole in the fabric. Once you have your data complete, 21 data points, the computer analyzes the average of that data and it puts a black curve through the course of that graph. You look at your vertical axis, you'll see a 50% probability in the middle where you come across and that intersects that black average of the red dot data. You come down to the bottom horizontal axis, you'll find your arc rating for that fabric and everything ever made from it. Sharks have something else in common with arcs. Size matters. With most species, the larger the shark, the more damage it can do, and the 3 most dangerous species to humans are widely considered to be the great white, tiger, and bull sharks, and it's no coincidence that they're all large, heavily bodied animals. Whites can exceed 20 feet and 2 tons, and since sharks tend to explore their environment with their mouth, even a small exploratory nibble from a white can be devastating. Now, larger arcs also pack more energy and pose more danger, and we need to understand that hazard and be sure to wear the appropriate level of arc-rated clothing and other PPE to protect ourselves. Please join us again tomorrow for another episode of Arc Week.